All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to another edition of Swag Talk. This is the show we cover the swag inside and out. I'm your tour guide around the swag Wells, and today we're gonna take a look at Grambling State's opponent in the first four. They're playing Montana State, the winners of the Big Sky Conference tournament. They're playing Wednesday in Dayton in the first four. So the winner of that game gets Purdue. So I'm gonna take a kind of a quick look at this team. I kind of started studying them a little bit. I'm gonna try to watch a couple games over the course of the next day and a half, and do a little bit more detail breakdown and how they match up with Grambling. So we're gonna start off at the beginning. This team was not a great team. They finished fifth in the Big Sky. They're 14 and they came. I think they came into the tournament at 14 and 17. They're 9-9. They have won. They're winners of four straight. So they're a team that got hot coming into the tournament. Last season they finished second in their conference, and they won the championship and went to the big dance last season. But they lost a lot of guys, so they're returning. They're returning not much. In terms of the beginning of the season, they weren't returning a lot of production from last season team. So this is kind of a new team. They have a new head coach. He's finishing up his first year, so they had some turnover, so they're not quite where they have been the last couple of years. Last couple of years they've won 25 games and I think like 26 games. So they've been, they kind of been on a roll, but they hit a downturn this season. So we're gonna take a look at who they are and kind of what they do. We Like I said, we'll go deeper. We'll go deeper into it tomorrow. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of who Grambling's facing. So Montana State Bobcats, like I said, they finished 9-9. I think they're 17 and 17. They are not a good road team. They're 4-10 away from home, 10-7 at home. The one thing that stood out to me immediately is they don't, if they allow their opponents to score more than 70 points, they are 2-13. So if Grambling can get over 70, I think they should be good. Montana State, if they hold opponents under 69 points, they're 9-2, including 7-1 if they allow 60 to 69 points. So you want to get into that 70-point range, you should be fine. Although their record is pretty solid, when they score 70 or more, they're 7-4 when they score 70 or more, and they're 4-1 if they score 80 or more. So if they score at least 70 points, they're 11-5. So if they can get over 70 points, then they have a good chance of winning. If you can keep them under 70, their record is not good at 3-9. If you keep them under 69 points, so Grambling defensively, I think I think they'll be able to do that. But like I said, I'm going to look a little bit deeper, break down some stuff and figure it out. But they're a team that they're averaging right now. They finished the season averaging 75 points per game, which puts them at fifth in conference. Defensively, they allow 74 points a game, which is seventh in the league, and they have a scoring margin of 1.1, which is fifth in the league. So they a pretty average team. That's 5 out of 10. They have 10 teams in their conference, so they're smack dab in the middle when it comes to scoring. When it comes to field goal percentage, they're fifth as well. They shoot 48% from the field. The opponents shoot 46%, which puts them at eighth place. So they again kind of like middle of the pack, below mediocre type defense in terms of statistically. When it comes to 3-point shooting, they lead the league in 3-point shooting. They shoot 36%. They're a really, really good 3-point shooting team. They take a lot of threes. They've taken 833 threes, which is the most by far. And they are a guard-oriented team. They play like 3 or 4 guards, so you're gonna see them put up a lot of threes. They have more than 50 threes, more than the second place team in that number. They have 306 made threes, which is like 30 plus is more than the second place team. So they let it fly from outside. That's kind of where they make their head. Defensively, their opponents shoot 33% from 3, and they make 9 threes per game. So they take a lot of threes and they make a good bit. So you're gonna definitely want to be sound on the perimeter. You don't want to let them start to get comfortable out there. When it comes to free throws, they're fourth in the league. They shoot 70%. The opponents shoot 71%. Rebounding, they are not a good rebounding team. So if there's one spot I think Grambling could flourish is if Grambling can be sound on the boards. I think they'll be good. They're last in the league in rebounding at 30.6 rebounds per game. The opponents, um, their opponents average 35.1 rebounds per game, which is eighth in the league. So they're getting out rebounded by like 5 rebounds per game. So that's also ninth in the league. So they get beat on the boards quite often. Like I said, they tend to be more of a let it fly type team from outside and not really focusing on inside, really guard oriented. So you're gonna expect that from a team like this. Um, Turnover margin, they are second in the league at turnover margin at 1.9. They turn the ball over 11.6 times a game, which would put them at fourth in the league in that number. They force a lot of turnovers. They lead the league in forced turnovers. They averaged 13.6 turnovers per game on defense. So they turn the ball over. They turn you over a good bit and don't turn the ball over much at all. When it comes to assists, they average 13.1 assists per game, which puts them at fifth place in that number. Block shots, they are ninth in the league in block shots at 2.3 per game. Again, like I said, they have some guys with some size on the bench, but they don't really play that much. So they are a team that plays like 6'8", 6'7". That's kind of their lineup. So that matches up more with the size of a SWAC team. So they don't block a lot of shots. Like I said, they're fifth in assists per game. They lead the league in steals. So you're definitely going to have to be aware of them getting their hands on the ball. They average 8.2 steals per game. So you want to definitely be cognizant of where they are when it comes to handling the ball. And I think Grambling's guards are good at that. So I think they should be good there. They have the league's fifth leading scorer in Robert Ford III. He averages 15.9 points per game. He's kind of like their do-it-all type of guy. You're gonna see him, all over the court. He is he's a 6', 180 senior, redshirt senior. So they have a experienced lineup when it comes to time in school. They don't have a lot of guys who came into the season with experience, but they have a lot of juniors and seniors. They typically start like one junior and like 3 seniors and a sophomore. So their team is pretty experienced when it comes to actual time in school, but not necessarily experienced in actual game action. But looking at some of their guys, like I said, Robert Ford, he leads the team in scoring. He shoots 42% from 3, which also leads the team. He leads the team in rebounding. As a 6-foot guard, he averages 7.6 rebounds per game. So you definitely want to watch him on the boards. He has 34 offensive rebounds, which is third on the team. So he will sneak in there and get an offensive board, but he's definitely really sound on the defensive boards. He leads the team in defensive rebounding by a big margin. So you kind of want to know where he's at all time. He also leads the team in assists. Well, he's second on the team in assists and leads the team in steals. You're gonna hear his name quite a bit. He's a guy who you can really count on seeing and kind of hearing his name all game long. He has a 30-point game this season. That's a team high, and he also has made 7 threes in a game, which is a team high. So he's gonna be all over the stat sheet. He's gonna be the guy that you kind of have to look out for. Another name that really is standing out this season is Tyler Patterson. He shoots. He's the second leading 3-point shooter on the team. He's shooting 38% from the 3-point line. 71 of 185. He averages 8.4 points per game, and he is a guy who shoots like 41% from the field. He averages 2.1 rebounds per game, but he's been hot in the last few weeks. The other leading scorers are Brian Goracki. He averages 13.5 points per game, and Brandon Walker, who's a sophomore from Oak Cliff, Texas. He averages 13 points a game, and Eddie Turner is another one of their guards. He averages 9.5 points per game. So they have three guys who average double digits in points. They go about 8 deep, so they're not a team that's going to throw a lot of bodies at you. So if you can kind of wear them down and get them in foul trouble, their starters play. Four out of their 5 starters play over 25 minutes a game, including 3 guys playing over 30 minutes a game. They kind of alternate that other guy between the other forward position between 2 guys, but they both play 19 and 22 minutes respectively. So they don't go that deep. And looking at their games from their tournament, they don't really go very deep. They just kind of hit a hot streak at the end of the season to get in this dance. Like I said, they won 4 in a row. And got in that way. But looking at their results for the season, they don't have a lot of non-conference wins as far as D1 games. They did beat Cal on the road by 3. Other than that, they beat UC Riverside by 1, and Southern Utah. They beat them by 1 in overtime. So they don't have a lot of non-conference wins, period. They won 5 non-conference games. 3 of them were D1 wins. So this is a team that can, like I said, I'm not gonna really discount them because, like I said, they shoot the 3 great. So you definitely want to you want to run them off the 3-point line. I think Grambling has some size that they could take advantage of the inside, and Grambling's guards should be able to make some things happen. But I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in this tomorrow. Kind of wanted to just give you guys an idea of who this team is and kind of what to look forward to. So that's gonna do it for me today. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow to kind of go deeper into it, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on how Grambling can beat these guys and advance to the actual round of 64. So with that being said, man, I'm your tour guide around the SWAC, C. Wells, signing out, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.